Thank you all for tuning in. This is As Deep as It Gets, and I'm your host, Pasztor. Go deep! Hey everybody, Dean here, sitting here with Nick Schuetz today, one of my best friends, and happy to have him. Nick, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, man. For everyone that's watching this, we finished up 18 holes of golf today. And
Nick beat me by 4.
Man, and it was overcast. Couldn't ask for better weather. I think there was a little more water out there than old Dino's used to.
A lot of water
out there.
We were swimming.
And any of my buddies that wants to come down and play some golf, I'm telling you, I'll take you to the cleaners. I got 2 home courses.
Hey, I think I won that front 9, but you
definitely.
But you definitely got me on the back 9. I sort of imploded, so. But Nick, first off, I want to thank you for everything, having me down here and putting me up so nicely. I want you to know how much I appreciate it, and you've been a great host, and my love goes out to you. It's been great.
Well, no problem, man. Anytime one of you guys comes down to visit me, I really appreciate that. So I do what I can to kind of just make it a special trip for everybody.
Well, it definitely has been so far, man. So, Nick, I think it's really interesting, having you on because you have such a little bit of a different perspective of, the way a lot of us in 2010 came up and grew up together. You almost have like a transfer portal-esque view, in a lot of ways where you came from a different school here in freshman year or sophomore year, I believe. And how was that experience?
It was great. I mean, obviously, a lot of people kind of know our story, but just to give everyone kind of the background from my end, how it all kind of transpired. I knew pretty early on in my freshman year at St. Clairsville, it was like in November, which granted, like that's not very far removed from 8th grade. I pretty much knew I wanted to come to Shadyside. I knew I was going to transfer. I basically considered 3 schools: Lindsley, Bel Air, Shadyside. And, I had watched you guys in 7th and 8th grade. I just marveled at how you guys, in basketball, of course, and I marveled at how you guys kind of gelled together. You guys had a lot of success. And so I think the seed was planted pretty early that, if I would join those guys, like, we'd be unstoppable, And so that's it. It was in, the power of subconscious thought. I just kept thinking about it for a long time. And it happened, It happened.
We have a lot of that around here, 25 and 0 there,
It all led up to that, yeah. And, so what a lot of people probably don't know is, I always play travel ball, spring ball, year-round since, I was little. And in 7th and 8th grade, Justin and Dylan we all played together. So I knew those guys. But even to rewind back beyond that, my grandpa Cork always lived in Shadyside. So I was in Shadyside a lot of summers, growing up. I was very familiar with all the guys: Heath, Pat, Colby, Ellis, just all of those guys, Klein. And so I was very comfortable. I was very comfortable with the transfer and the switch. And like I said, me and Justin and Dylan started playing a lot of ball together in 7th and 8th grade. So we knew each other very well. And I really enjoyed playing with those guys for sure.
Well, you can tell that carried over, and I think I'm glad that you sort of marveled at us, 7th and 8th grade basketball is really when we all became super close. I feel like as a friend group, and to have you there watching. And I want you to know and give you your flowers here. We sort of marveled at you every year in the tournament when we'd play against you. We definitely seen that you were a threat out there, and I think you were number 20 if I'm correct. We'll have to check into that, but you used to ball on us, and we seen it. And so when I found out you were coming your sophomore year to Shadyside, I was super excited because of those early junior high years where we were paying our respects to you. And I honestly didn't even know myself about all the AAU stuff with Dylan and Justin. So
Yeah, like I said, you guys were great. Dylan is probably the most athletic person I've ever played any sports with. So early on, I was like, man, if me and Dylan Kimball are in the backcourt together, we'll be unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, I see that.
And then, I continued to play with Justin throughout high school, all around, Columbus, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, all these places. But yeah, man, so we gelled. It was perfect. It's pretty much the way I had envisioned that. And we had a lot of success. We did.
It's always great
we
when
had a lot
things
of
work out
success.
how you expect. So let's go into that. How was it? Sort of got recruited there your senior year for football.
I've been, man, since the day I walked in that high school when I was in 10th grade, I was getting recruited for football. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I know we wanted you to join. So, I mean, I get, and
I was, I did play football my freshman year at St. C, and I was the quarterback of our freshman team, and it was fun. It was okay. But transferring to another school, I wanted to focus on basketball at that time. But then it's father time creeps up on you, and I did realize senior year, it's like you can play basketball, pickleball, golf. You can do all this stuff for the rest of your life, but you can't play football for the rest of your life. So
no, sir.
I made that one of the best decisions ever to come out and play with you guys senior year. We were what we were. Probably deserved every inch of it, but
I give us our kudos.
I had fun,
I give
man.
us resilient, sort of like you on the golf course today. I give us our kudos. Starting out 1-4, you had a tough front nine. We had a tough first out of the season. We thought we were doomed, and then that second nine there, you come back and you're all of a sudden you're 5-5, vying for a playoff spot. Now you're in round 2, and we made it. We were resilient if nothing else. But truly.
I mean, what was it though? Was it the spinner offense, or was it the oh baby you, or was it a soft spot in the schedule? We'll never know.
I think it was a mix of all three of those things, and plus a closeness. And you know what they say: whenever you're down bad, and you got nothing to lose, you're 1-4. That's when things start to get real gritty, because then it's a test of who are you. What are you going to do down 1-4? I mean, you're going to finish out the season like scrubs? I mean...
And that's just not Shadyside culture.
No.
That's just not,
we
couldn't do that.
No, not us. Then we would have been the laughing stock of every year.
Right.
I mean, you don't want to be those guys.
Right. And
we finished respectable with a playoff berth.
Well,
6-6, you're not going to find that record very often on anybody's stat sheet. It spoke to who we were as men.
Well, I mean, when you do make the playoffs at 5-5, that does speak volumes of your schedule. We had a tough schedule, man, and
absolutely
to get in as the 7th seed and then do what we did in that first round to Columbiana. I mean,
the comeback at Columbiana.
It's
Red 90.
It's a Shadyside classic forever, man.
Was it Red 90? What was the play? You guys ran the same play.
Pro 50, Pro 55. I don't know. It was one of those.
No, that's wow, what a beautiful time. The comeback at Columbia.
And then the success in basketball too. Like as we were talking about, man, that senior year, it was like
talk about
magic carpet ride.
Talk about not even your junior year. Me and Mason Bigler, close friends of you guys our whole career, and Casey Klug, making it to darn near every single one of you guys' basketball games from sophomore year into junior year and senior year. And I know I used to come for the JV games, but I was always there to support, my class and the upperclassmen as well, BA and, Billy and Dustin and all of those guys on the team. But Jared, just, the whole team, I was there to support them, but I always had, an eye for my best friends and, like, when are they going to get time? When are they going to be playing? Like, that's all I wanted to see. And I even went to a lot of their freshman games that they played without Justin. I believe it was just Dylan Colby and Pat and Tyler.
Yeah, I think that 10th grade year actually was pretty crucial. I didn't play varsity my sophomore year. Obviously, I had a feeling that was going to happen. It's fine. I get how things work sometimes, but the fact that I was able to really play a lot of ball with Heath, Tyler, Colby, and all these guys, that the chemistry we created that 10th grade year that would carry over to eventually as seniors, that was paramount.
Yeah.
That was paramount for sure.
Yeah, wow. And to talk about that a sec, man, into your junior year, I knew we were special. Just the way we moved the ball, Nathan was a big help down low too, and everything was good our junior year, and it was just how dynamic could we be, and
it was a little bit of a lack junior year, a little bit of a lack of experience, and we had 2 injuries. Heath and Dylan both got hurt, missed significant time.
Yeah, which gave Ellis a big opportunity to step
up.
It
did, yeah. But you talk about significant losses on defense. Heath and Dylan were probably our 2 best defenders. Yeah. And so we had to grow. There was definitely some growing pains junior year. But it only facilitated what you saw in 12th grade. And man, I think I told you before, like, how they do a preview for football and basketball in the newspaper every year.
Mm-hmm. Pigskin preview, yeah.
Well, before our senior year in basketball, they predicted us 18-2, which that's pretty lenient actually. It's not a lot of teams going 18-2, but I looked at that and I was like looking at our schedule and I'm like, who's gonna beat us? And I kind of used that as a chip the best I could, and of course nobody did beat us,
Back to Tom ready to go.
Got up to 25 wins.
Find that fuel.
And I think what a lot of people don't realize too is it's so hard to beat a team 3 times, especially like even an average team or a good team.
A formidable team is tough to beat.
And we beat 3 teams 3 times that year, including Rosecrans, who had a real nice squad.
Yeah.
So.
Kid's name was, but how about we talk about into our senior year, the big transition where we got, he was also his junior year was Heath's growth as a human and as a basketball player played a big impact.
Yeah. That's why we were so special. We had guys that put in a lot of individual time, and man, Heath, the way he got better junior and senior year, and yet in his growth spurt.
Yeah. A terror in the post. To this day.
Let me tell you that
to this day, a terror in the post.
Yeah, our team is not the same without Heath Brooks developing the way he did. He did everything right. He knew where he's supposed to be. He was smart.
Crafty down there,
man, and he could lock down anybody. So yeah.
And obviously maybe it sounds like we're doing this a little bit, but obviously we take Justin and his shooting ability for granted.
Justin's one of the most consistent shooters I've ever played with. It takes a lot of stress off the guards when you can draw 2-3 guys and just know, like, Justin's gonna be where I want him to be. Throw it over there, boom, 3 points.
There's something to be said.
We found a lot of comfort in that. Let me tell you.
Everyone did, yeah.
So
I think everybody did. So it was something to be said about, saying to Justin, like, he'd knock him down.
Oh, for sure.
I'll never forget you guys being doubted big time by other Shadians, I remember halftime at Highland going out into I won't mention them by name, going out into the lobby there and hearing a couple guys a few years older than me counting you guys out, thinking it was over at Highland. And what happened in the locker room there?
I don't really remember. We've talked about it before. I think everyone felt a little differently. Me personally, I wasn't worried at all, even as much as we were down.
Justin, hadn't he just hit a shot going into halftime?
He maybe. I don't really remember.
I think he hit a half quarter going into.
I just remember thinking that we are what were we at that time? 22, 23 and 0. I'm like, we're a bunch of 18-year-old dudes. We're undefeated. And we got a bunch of little kids over there. No offense to them or that team, but they were young. They were a lot of sophomores. And I just remember thinking like, no, we're not going out like this. We're going to win. We're going to win this basketball game.
You guys came back.
Oh, absolutely. Scoreless third quarter. We held them scoreless in the third quarter. That's really kind of what did it. 3 at the end, couple foul shots, sealed, C and Canton type thing. Or no, actually we had to actually beat Rosecrans for the third time in the district final.
Miracle at Meadowbrook.
Yeah. Wait.
Is that where it was? Where was it?
The Miracle at Meadowbrook.
No, that's
That's totally different, I think.
Where was that game?
Actually, yeah. So I guess Highland, if that's what people are calling it.
No, there was another Miracle at Meadowbrook. Colby probably called it that.
I don't know.
There's a good chance he did. I know. We coined the comeback at Columbiana.
Yeah. Maybe they did coin it that, and I just wasn't aware.
I think there was another game at Meadowbrook that
Maybe
people refer to as the Miracle at Meadowbrook, but
I don't know. But man, we had a hell of a run, and we did what we needed to do that first regional semi game, and then, we've all spent ages talking about that last game. Just, you got to chalk it up to, I don't care if it's November or March, man. Like, you're not going to win many games scoring 44 points.
Yeah, and we've talked about this over the weekend. Best team in Shadyside history, 25-0. And L finds everybody eventually. It's just the law of life.
Right. Kind of maybe a regression to the mean type thing,
yeah.
But
it's just, you can't only be, perfection doesn't exist. You can only, it does in sports, it can happen, but it's rare, and it's hard to maintain that level of success over that period of time, clearly, for anybody, anywhere, in anything. It's not just sports, it's everything.
I give their coaching staff credit. They did exactly probably what they needed to do to beat us. Kind of just make us run full court, 4 quarters, make us lose our legs, and then of course when the legs go, your shots aren't going to go in. But that was really, I think that was about it, man. It's one of those days where a bunch of negative stuff all lines up. It's like a perfect storm, and we somehow we came up short that day,
Yeah, and it was a sad day, but I don't think you guys should ever hang your heads for that, because like I said, until there's a better team in Shadyside history, you guys did the best, so you can stand tall knowing that. We were just a bunch of kids from a very, very, very small town.
Yeah, and I always took a lot of pride in that. I always thought we should call ourselves Shadyside Public.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these prep schools and Catholic schools or what have you, they recruit. They take their pick of whatever metro area they're in, and so.
I've heard.
I think that also makes kind of what we had very special.
Yeah, you've heard the stories of Highland, like whenever they have kids there, they put a basketball in their crib. That's,
right.
You've heard that's it. Like that's all they do.
Yeah.
So it's important. It was important at Shadyside too. We were really good, and we should all be proud of that. Like,
yeah.
It'd be hard. It's hard. It'd be super hard for anyone to even recreate that season.
Right.
You know what I mean? You guys should be honored more often, really.
One of the obviously one of our teammates, one of our closest friends, did pass away recently. Patrick O'Donnell, rest in peace, rest in paradise for sure. We can talk a little bit about Pat. What made him so special to us. And,
Pat. He was the best, man. I actually wanted to ask you, considering you did graduate with us, and I'm going to try and get everyone, what was your favorite memory with Pat? Well, and I'll tell you mine right after this.
Okay. Let me see. In it's probably September, October of 2019. We're grown at this point, mid to upper 20s. I took a trip to Dallas just because I would do things like that sometimes at that point in my life. I would just go random places. I like to travel and clear my head and stuff. And Pat happened to be there. I like saw on social media or something. Him and Serena were in town, and I hit him up, of course. And I mean, drop of a hat, man. Within 2 hours, Pat was. We met up. We met up there, and we spent the whole day. Like we went to Midtown and Deep Ellum and all these cool places in Dallas where he would show me some spots. And then we actually ended up at Serena's parents' house.
Really?
I met her father, Hector. And man, what great people. What a great girl. I mean, they made me feel just like family. Just the way Pat did with people, man.
That's
It
exactly,
made everyone feel like family. And that was just good times. I'll never forget that.
Very hospitable people, and that's exactly how they made us all feel down there for Patrick's wedding and Cozumel. So I get it, man. But I think all of my favorite moments and memories with Pat are every time we've ever performed pretty much anything together. We were such a hoot singing together. Same Girl used to be our thing. Yo, what up, Kill? And then there's just all the prom, shutting down the dance floor. He was my, often I say me and Patrick were supposed to be the next John and Prune. That was the plan, always. So that was tough. And
yeah, man. I think we've all obviously experienced a shift in our mindset change. It's something I've always kind of known, but man, it really does apply here, is that you never know what's going to happen in life. And man, why don't you tell me a little bit about your mindset change, and maybe if there's any spiritual stuff you've been through.
Well, since obviously since Patrick and everything happened, it's lit a fire in all of us. I'm sure in different ways, but it's definitely affected the whole community. And I hope, as Patrick would want, it's affected the community in a positive light. I hope everybody's cherishing each day a little more and living life a little bit more intently and doing their best to find comfort in their spirituality and just the everyday small things that we all sometimes take for granted.
I agree, man. I think something else that hit us all really hard was we came face to face with our own mortality. We all, in the back of our minds, know we're going to die someday, but we all think it's probably going to happen when we're 80, 90 years old, and of course that's just not how life goes, man. And so I think it put a lot of things in perspective. A lot of the things that maybe we worry about all of a sudden don't become very important. I think what's important is, really solidifying your faith in Christ. I'm a born again Christian, as you know. I take, Bible study, daily prayer very seriously. I think that's the most important thing. But then at the same time, you gotta really cherish those relationships that you have with your family and your friends. Because that's really what matters the most in life. It's all about love, man.
You're 1,000% correct. And speaking of which, right off the plane, you got me straight to a church, and I appreciated that, man. That was
you liked it. It was good service.
That was beautiful.
And the Old Testament is really it's a hard read. I'm not gonna lie, but when you have like a good church, good pastor to really kind of decipher it for you, it was Exodus.
I know.
When you have a good pastor to decipher it for you, then you're like, oh wow, like God is talking to you in every verse of the Bible.
Yeah.
It's like, it's crazy.
You see me taking notes over there.
I did. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it, man. And I pray that all of our friends and all of our families can kind of converge in that way, because obviously this world's crazy. I mean, we don't even have to go down the list of all the horrible things and crazy things that happen in this world, but we need it. We need Jesus in our lives, man.
Jerry Krause is important.
Jerry Krause. Just so everyone knows, so we're getting rid of the JCs. We've replaced it with Jerry Krause.
Yeah, JKs. Yeah, just no more No more Lord's name in vain. No more JCs, JKs from now on. Jerry Krause.
I was kind of pulling the ball today, Jerry Krause. Why am I hooking it like that?
Yeah, mine was leaking left. It was a steady leak left all day. Well, I played strong on the. I chipped in for birdie.
You did, man. That was well.
Well, I putted in for birdie from the fairway.
But apparently, on this app that you guys use,
Klein
would
calls
say
it a chip in. I don't know. We'll have to consult Tyler Klein. He says the rules say if you putt from the fairway, it's still a chip in. So.
Well,
I don't know if that's.
I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue. I think, was that the only birdie today?
I think so.
I didn't have any birdies, did I?
I don't think so.
Man, I'm usually good for one.
Yeah.
Two. I don't.
That front was a fun front. Yeah, I know. And so yeah, with my new, I wouldn't say newfound spirituality, but I've always been spiritual. My grandma had me in the church every weekend from the time I was young up until it was time to make my own decision about it when I had my car, and then I got to decide if I went to go. And shout out to Riverview Bible Church. It's been a great church to me, and I love all the people there. But when I got my license, I kind of veered away from it. But I've been back since to the same church I go for Christmas and holidays, and all the people there are still great, and it just really set my foundation with Christ, and I'm so thankful for that experience being young.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get close to God, but so I wouldn't call it newfound, but I've definitely got more in touch with my spiritual side since Pat's passing, and it's been very enlightening. But I was also in the midst of trying to do a lot of things for myself when Pat passed.
Mm-hmm.
That I had been working on, quitting things and quitting vices and trying to become a better version of me, that when it happened that he passed, I really knew I had to fall right into what I was doing rather than get dragged somewhere else, because if I didn't, I was really worried about what might happen.
Yeah, it's us as human beings, we can't do it alone. A lot of people try to take on life alone, and it's really hard, if not impossible. But I'm with you there, man. Like, I grew up in the church. Shout out Sacred Heart in Neffs, Ohio. Always used to see Colby there, even when we were really young. But, my parents had me there every weekend. So even when I moved to Florida and I was going through difficult times, alcohol definitely led me down many a hard path, but I would always make my way on Sundays if I could to church, and it really kept me grounded, helped me clear my head and stuff like that. So no, it's paramount. I truly believe everyone got to have it in their lives, or it's going to be a rough ride.
Yeah, I mean, the way of the Lord is always the right way.
That's
so
it.
You can't, do your best to stay on that path, and you'll be led to good things.
That's right. To switch up the subject a little bit, I heard your first or second podcast, and there was a little bit of a conspiracy theory in there about video games and COVID.
Yeah, well, I definitely think COVID was sort of a sham, and I do think that they were trying to fuel the military-industrial complex with kids and everybody playing the game, and it was a really fun game and super addicting.
Hey, listen, there is no such thing as a coincidence. That's my coincide. That's my credo, man. That's after kind of everything that's taken place the last 10, 12 years. I've decided no such thing as a coincidence. Everything is planned or meant to be, and but yeah, COVID was crazy. I mean, I obviously have been in the medical field for a while now. I do believe COVID was probably the biggest act of genocide in human history. I do believe that it was engineered to kill, and not only that, the vaccines as well. That's
tough territory, but I definitely don't think that they were trying to save everybody in the hospitals who were on respirators, and I definitely think that there was a death count that they were trying to meet and probably control world population, and I'll probably never make it on the internet for saying all this, but I definitely don't think that.
I think you will.
I don't think the whole COVID thing was a good thing.
We're not the first ones. We're
No,
not the first ones.
I know we might be here late, but I have actually thought that since the beginning.
I mean, depopulation was definitely a huge thing in my opinion. I have to follow
dude,
up.
I really rose a lot of suspect whenever they were like, at least in Ohio, they were like, come get your vaccine and you'll be entered to win $1 million.
Yeah.
They've never tried to give me $1 million to do anything in my whole entire life. So that's how I knew I definitely shouldn't enter this contest.
I mean, Dunkin' Donuts was offering like free donuts to come down there and get your vaccine. I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's a little strange.
They never give out free donuts at all.
Little bit
they
strange.
They never
man.
like, hey man, here we're gonna give you money if you get this. It's like, well, I feel like you're pressing me a little bit too much to be getting this for my own comfort.
Exactly.
To where it's almost, this seems a little sketchy, like.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you need it, and it's like.
So I do believe that other than the depopulation, the wealth transfer, which I can talk about a little more in what I've seen, my opinion. And then the other thing is they just wanted to see how well they could control us. I mean, with the mask mandates, the 6 feet apart, the stay inside. I don't know. Did they do this up north? They at one point they put little arrows down the aisles in our grocery stores.
That everywhere.
Of course, down here in Florida, we kind of rolled our eyes at it. We did whatever we wanted, but I was like, "This is insane." It's absolutely insane.
They full on government mandated everything, and I mean that could speak to, we try to lean neither left nor right here on this podcast. You
speak for yourself.
I mean, I said we try to. We try to. That doesn't mean we do.
I mean, how
we
are
try
you
to
gonna
hear everyone's opinions, but I mean,
Right. Well, how are you gonna tell me that I have to have my mask on to walk in a restaurant, but as soon as I sit down at my table,
the
oftentimes
nonsensical things we can
you know what I mean?
That's what I mean. On. I mean, when I say we try to be in the middle, like we do try to be, but we're leaning right. Like there's no doubt.
It just makes sense.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's some would say we're like way over here. So
and then
but that's not to say we can't come back this way if maybe they would come up with some formidable stances and not be so bizarre with everything crazy and off the wall that they say. Maybe we could come back over a little bit but like right now we just have to side with the
man.
So it's I mean that's what I'm saying. Everyone's opinion's valid. I'm not gonna say nobody
freedom
has
of
a
speech.
Voice. Yes,
freedom of speech. Yeah,
talk all you want.
All
but
for
I'll
it.
also I'll also debate you on why I think you're nuts, regardless of which way you lean.
Yeah.
And I invite people to do the same with me because I have a lot of crazy takes. So.
And I think the wealth transfer thing was so obvious because if you look at any stock or ETF, if you look at the 10-year ticker, like you can see the drop. It's like, oh, there it is, COVID right there. Everything dropped, everything. And then obviously the whales, the people with massive amounts of capital all went back in, bought low. And that was that.
They're manipulating the stocks,
they're
manipulating the crypto.
Yeah.
They're manipulating everything, dude. It's. I mean, we could go all day about, and I probably will explore these things. I said, I'll probably.
And then the other aspect of, and I got to give Tim Dillon credit for this. I don't want to get sued. Don't want you to get sued. But he was saying how, a lot of people lost their jobs during COVID, right? So they can't pay rent. Well, guess what? If people can't pay rent, who else can't pay their bills? The landlords. And if the landlords don't pay their bills, guess who gets the properties?
The government.
The banks, the BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, all of it. Yeah.
All the steel
they
property.
took it all. Yeah.
Oh.
So I thought that was interesting. But, we're through it now. We're through it. A lot of us, I don't know. I hope you don't have any long COVID or anything like that. Me, I'll tell you, like, right, my memory's not been the same.
I'm not close enough to the health system to like comment like too harshly on just like
yeah.
I wanted to scoff at you even saying long COVID, but I don't even, that might be a thing.
I think it's a thing, yeah, because I've noticed
like I'm sure
short-term memory deficits in myself. Like
okay.
I think it does probably affect a lot of people. but that's why health and nutrition is now so important, and I know you've been really getting after it.
I've been doing my best, yeah, to, even though I did fail 7,500 on day 56, I still have been doing 2 workouts a day and still trying to keep myself as fit as possible. And while eating right, I know I talked to you about a 96-hour fast, what you think it might do for me. And said it might benefit me, so.
Yeah, I mean, intermittent fasting, that's really what we've kind of discovered is super effective. That's honestly why Big Pharma came out with these drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy and stuff like that, because they know it works. Because what those drugs essentially do is they make people not eat. And, when you don't eat, then you're not secreting. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole here, but you're not secreting insulin, which means you're able to actually burn fat. You're able to not be in an inflammatory state. And that's honestly, that's what works. So it's I do it myself. I do probably 16 to 24 hour fast every day. Luckily for me, 1 or 2 cups of black coffee in the morning, I feel full. It's not abnormal for me to not eat until like 2-3 in the afternoon. When you incorporate, high intensity weight training, stuff like that, I mean, that's the best self you're going to be, man.
I might link this episode to this podcast, but a lot of the stuff you're saying, Joe Rogan had an episode with Dr. David Sinclair, and his whole thing is like, your biggest thing to living a long life is, if you want to live till you're 80 or 90, the number one thing you can do for your health is to skip meals. And
absolutely.
That's just
the truth is, human beings, we only really need 1, maybe 2 meals a day. We absolutely overeat in this country, and this country is unique in that everything we have here is processed. There's preservatives, there's high fructose corn syrup in everything. So I mean, that's why we have so many health issues, to be honest with you. People, you don't have to get on the Ozempic and stuff. You could just fast, but I understand it's a little harder to have that self-discipline.
There's certain scenarios where it definitely makes sense.
Well, of course, if for people that are morbidly obese, yes, it's Ozempic and stuff. I mean, they're miracle drugs. They really are. But I mean, at this point, we have a lot of people that are just abusing them. And
Listen,
if that's what you want to do, there's no judgment. You probably are healthier.
Here's what I'll say to those people right now, because I understand how, like, when there's something readily available to you, it sort of makes sense to use because it's readily available to other people. My only worry is for those people, as long as there's no long-term effect on their health, I'm not upset they're using the cheat code. I'm worried about what might happen to them later because they are.
Of course.
So that it's less of like, oh, I wish they weren't doing that, and more of like, make sure you're taking care of yourself and make sure that this, if you do need to get off it or there's no long-term side effects and it's thoroughly researched. That was my big thing with the COVID shot, was like, sure, I'll take it after I watch the next 10 years and make sure nobody's just randomly dying of heart conditions.
Right.
Oh, wait, Brownie's down. Oh, wait, I seen all the bad things that, now they say you have to watch, your heart with the COVID shot, especially young males. And then, I mean, I thought, LeBron seems like he'd probably be pro-vaccine. Don't know. Can't call it really. But what I will say is, when Bronny went down, that, to me, that was a big sign. I'm sure he's had the vaccine.
Yeah.
I just don't know how the son of,
Well, now there's a rule now, actually. I don't know if it's high school kids or college, but every athlete has to have an EKG done now. And that is, an EKG is like a quick snapshot of your heart rhythm and rate and all that. And the sole
I
purpose...
encourage everyone who's ever gotten a COVID vaccine to go get their heart looked at and make sure everything's stable, because there's definitely studies linked to that, especially in young males, that it's no good. And I don't know which vaccine that is, Moderna. I'm not that well versed on the information. What I do know is there's definitely studies linking bad heart to.
It's slowly coming out.
Yeah, and this is what I wanted to watch for.
This is how the country operates, man. They slowly leak the truth over years and decades and whatnot. But back to the metabolic health stuff, which I love. That's going to be my thing going forward. the problem with some of these weight loss drugs is 60% of the weight you lose is fat, but the other 40% is muscle and bone. And it's yes, you can work out, get your muscle back, but it's really, I mean, bone, you don't get that bone density back. And I think what they're actually finding now is a lot of people quit at the 2-year mark or even before the 2-year mark because they feel nauseous, they feel bloated, they don't feel good, and they've already lost the weight that they wanted to lose. And so that's fine, but if you do that, you're going to put the fat back on like quickly. So in a sense, you weigh less, but you're actually fatter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because a lot of the weight you lost was muscle and bone.
Exactly. I think the best way is, especially if it's a manageable amount, is just good old-fashioned hard work.
That's it. Yeah.
That also trains your mind to be disciplined and things like that.
Yeah, and you know, to circle back very, very quickly about the spiritual stuff, I mean, that helps. It really does. It really does. But I'm glad. I'm so glad that you're
the mind in line with the body and the body in line with the mind.
Yeah.
Then the spirit comes. Yeah, man.
That's it. I mean, fasting is in the Bible. It really is. The Bible literally will tell you how to live your life perfectly, and just so many people don't realize that. Like, you know, you're supposed to fast, but I'm glad you're in it, man. You are the most. I'm not gonna lie, you're the most cut I've ever seen you.
Well, thanks.
I almost can't believe it's you, so I'm proud of you.
I appreciate that, buddy. You're not looking too bad yourself over there, so. We've been beaching and stuff, so.
I should look good because I know all the info that most other people have to dive down and research, but
it's not that easy in your 30s anymore. I mean, you say I should look good, but it's pretty easy to fall off a cliff. So this type of stuff into your later years takes more and more discipline as we age.
Man, you're not lying because after 30, the metabolism slows down. For men, testosterone, I think they say decreases 1% every year after 30. It's not easy, man. It's not easy.
But we're doing okay. We're doing okay out here.
Yeah, we're hanging on. We're
in the Southwest Florida. We're doing okay. We're not. We're performing all right, I'd say. So let's talk about we got a big fantasy draft coming up.
We do.
We think.
Yeah. I hope it's tonight. I think you have the best strategy. Pick the best players on the best teams. That's really it.
Yeah.
And then
everyone going on, I'm no fantasy guru, but if you get good players on teams that score a lot, then you'll be successful.
The math works out on that. The math definitely works out.
If you draft a kicker who kicks the most field goals, and he makes them all, you'll have a good season at kicker. That's how the fantasy stuff
What's
works.
your take on the Steelers this year, man?
Steelers, I'm actually excited to see old Aaron Rodgers sling it. I think it's going to be exciting because he's just slinging the ball. I love his controversial take. I love that he was hard on the COVID vaccines. I actually love Aaron Rodgers and his demeanor as a person. Don't know how great he's going to be for the Steelers and for my team, but I'm in full support. Like, I want him to do great. I'm rooting for him. If he doesn't, I won't hang it over his head.
Yeah.
He's a man. He's 40.
My dig with the Steelers is, man, it's other than watching the same thing every year, is they just don't know how to do offensive line. I think offensive line is the most important, crucial position group in all of football, always.
Well, we just need to draft better linemen, and it's like we draft wide receivers out of the room. But like you elaborated on in our off-air discussions a little bit. It's that offensive line coach, right? You said we ain't been right since then.
No, Mike Munchak left years and years ago for Denver. We've never replaced him, and there is no reason Broderick Jones shouldn't be usable or good. I mean, the dude's an athletic freak. He played in the SEC. He's blocking, NFL pass rushers his whole college career. But yet he comes to Pittsburgh, and it's just an absolute tire. It's a train wreck. They say he can't play. He looks awful. He has no confidence now. And meanwhile, like Dan Moore, who was our,
I think it's all the French fries there. I think it's like too many permani sandwiches.
Too many permani sandwiches. That could be it, man. But
lay off the fries, my guy. Let's get you on a keto diet and get you in shape, though. We need you blocking. Big boy.
We can't have him too light. We can't have him too light now.
We need his feet. We need his feet.
Somebody blocking Myles Garrett has to have some weight on him.
We need his feet chopping, dog.
A-Rod, I think
A-Rod,
his feet.
A-Rod needs that.
I think his feet chop, but they just chop the wrong way. He doesn't know what he's doing. And like for instance, so Dan Moore, who was obviously everyone said he was terrible last year, and he probably was. PFF I think ranked him the worst tackle in football. But yet Tennessee comes in and gives him a ton of money. Why? Because somebody in Tennessee's organization was probably like, oh, no, that guy can play. It's just Pittsburgh doesn't know what they're doing. That's what I think. That's what makes sense to me.
I mean, that doesn't...
I mean, the defense is the defense is interesting. I want to see them blitz again. Can they please blitz and play man-to-man coverage?
I'd love to see that.
They're old. They're probably going to end up rickety at some point, get some injuries. But can we get back to playing man-to-man and putting some pressure on the quarterback?
Who do we have who fell off a cliff this year? Corner fell off a cliff. You'd think he was a good pickup, but...
Oh, Ramsey? Jalen Ramsey? Darius Slay? They're both old.
Yeah, but solid because we got... JPJ, right? Joey Porter Jr. still.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it with him.
Well,
I know everyone loves him because he's Joey Porter's son, but I mean he had literally like 7 or 8 penalties against the Bengals last year. T. Higgins, he wasn't even guarding Jamar Chase. It was what I mean.
Hopefully we got him some help, but I mean, do you think our defense is better this year?
Yeah, I do think it's better. On paper, it looks amazing, but again, when you can't run the ball and you're going 3 and out constantly and those guys are on the field for 30, 40 minutes a game for 17 weeks.
It's just, I feel like we have the same year as last year. It's just we have Aaron Rodgers instead of Russell Wilson.
Right.
I don't see any difference.
Right.
I'd actually I wish they would have kept George Pickens and had him on the outside, opposite side DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
Maybe open up some middle for Aaron Rodgers and then just have 2 just threats because I know George Pickens is a problem. Listen, but
that man is a problem for sure.
Listen, he can catch that ball.
He can, man.
I understand. Sometimes you need to just rid yourself of the stress, which is it was time. But
Pickens is the type of dude to collect his $50,000 game check or whatever it is, and then for no reason he'll just go rob a 7-Eleven. Like. He just does not care about anything.
Yeah, I mean, I bought his jersey and.
Gosh, he bought his jersey, huh?
What was that free one Fanatics was giving out? If you signed up for $50.
All right then. What about?
Didn't pay for his jersey.
Let's talk a little bit about
He's gone now.
The other drama in our division, Shador in Cleveland. Is he going to start? What's going to happen with Shador? What do you think of him?
Just get it over with. Throw him out there.
Yeah,
you guys had what could be like a super cool draft, but you actually again drafted all busts, and now Joe Flacco's your quarterback, and yeah, you did okay, but again you have Shador Sanders and Dylan Gabriel, and now you're sort of cooked. I mean,
here's my take on.
But I don't know. I mean, hopefully he does work out, but I mean,
I don't know if he will or not. My take on Shador is everyone freaked out. He went 5th round, and I'm like, okay. He's a 3rd-round talent with a 7th-round attitude, so 5th round is perfect. That's exactly where he should have went.
He definitely doesn't have a good
attitude.
What do you think of Cam Ward? Not to get off Shador, just as a little...
Cam Ward, I think, is going to be fine. I think
he's impressed me in his interviews.
If you give Cam Ward 2 years, I think he'll...
He's impressed me in his interviews.
He's going to be fine, yeah.
Talking about his dad getting up 5 a.m. Cam Ward, to me, is saying the right thing. Kudos to him.
The Titans...
And I seen him bodying Shador in some of these pre-draft things. Cam Ward felt like in those videos it was him and Shador talking. And it felt like he was...
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of that's for attention and, media stuff.
Sure, but like it... Wasn't a good look on Shador's part every video I see.
No, and the problem, so I think in order to be a good quarterback in the NFL, you have to have a certain amount of EQ, like emotional intelligence, and I just don't think Shador, he's never been held accountable for anything. He has proven he doesn't handle adversity well. I mean, he threw his whole offensive line under the bus in a press conference in college. He pushed a referee one time. I just don't think that he has that, leadership. I don't think he has leadership capabilities. Like, if something goes wrong or if he plays bad or somehow they lose a game, I don't think Shador Sanders can sit behind a microphone and say that it was on me today, I got to play better, yada, yada. I think he's always going to point fingers at somebody. And that does not fly in the NFL.
I think sadly you're probably right about that.
And he'll get every chance imaginable. He'll get out of Cleveland eventually, and he'll bounce around probably, and maybe Dallas. That's a headline type thing. Dak's getting old. But Shador is going to get the utmost chances. That's just how it is.
Oh.
And I pray he don't land in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really want him. We got Billy.
Who?
Billy Howard.
Bill Howard? I think that guy fixed my toilet 2 weeks ago.
Billy Howard?
Bill Howard?
Yeah.
I'm just messing.
But I had a small joke about, not a joke. I like calling Will Levis Billy Jean.
Why?
Because William Levi's.
Okay. You're very creative. I like that. Speaking of Brawny, though.
Billy Jean.
Hey, listen. Who's the GOAT?
Who's the GOAT?
LeBron or MJ?
Definitely not Brawny.
No, definitely not
Kobe
Brawny.
Bryant.
I like that. I could get on board with that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Mamba mentality. Kobe Bryant's the best basketball player to ever live, and I'll argue it on. You give him one more, we're putting him past Michael. R.I.P.
I have a take on the LeBron MJ. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
I think that, let me just start by saying, I think LeBron is probably the best basketball player I've ever seen in my life. Particularly when he came back to Cleveland, that Kyrie team, they came back from 3-1. I think that was probably the best basketball player I've ever seen, that version of LeBron. But the reason that this argument is never going to die is because winners, like a lot of sports fans, a lot of men, they love MJ. They identify with MJ because MJ, he was ultra competitive. All he cared about was winning. He did not, he was not polarizing politically. LeBron, on the other hand, he did choose to be polarizing politically on social media, stuff like that. He's an attention whore. He's a complete attention whore. And I think LeBron is probably the most narcissistic athlete in American sports history.
Go easy on LeBron. He's an Ohio guy. Listen,
I don't care.
Just give him a break a little bit. Jeez. I mean, he's a tough watch for sure. The flop is bad. But he's done a lot of good things out there, and I don't think we need to be so harsh on LeBron because he's had a lot of pressure on him to be this great his whole life. He's had the cameras on him, then the social media cameras on him. I mean, he's had to deal with things in a lot of ways that Jordan didn't, and politics and everything going viral and the internet. So I'll defend him in the way that I get it. He is a lot, and he is a diva, but he was groomed that way. So I don't disagree with you. I'm just giving LeBron a little grace for having to deal with, maybe the most pressure of any athlete ever, especially the chosen, he was, and he delivered.
He has, for the most part.
That's where it's tough. Like, he's still balling out there. It's not like he's
here.
And I know he gets his points. I know he gets them late in garbage time. LeBron's known to add some stats.
Here's my disconnect. And again, I've said he's probably the best I've ever seen.
You gave him.
But here's my disconnect with LeBron. This is why I like Kobe and MJ better. Because, LeBron, he's a billionaire now. he's been a billionaire for a few years. He had up all his assets and whatnot. But yet he still takes to social media and tries to convince people that his life is hard because of his skin color. I think that's absolute insanity, and why a lot of people just can't stand him. MJ never did stuff like that. Kobe never went into stuff like that.
LeBron.
They cared about basketball.
I think I can say this. LeBron is certainly not oppressed. I'd agree with you. That's a
not
joke,
one
obviously.
bit.
It's not oppressed.
No. But ask him. He'll tell you it's been, he has a tough life.
Suffrage. No. So, Kobe, he has an argument to be the GOAT only because, he did it. Powell definitely helped him, but my favorite teams of his were not as much the Kobe and Shaq years, but the years he did it with Pau Gasol and Trevor Ariza and Lamar Odom and Andrew Bynum and Derek Fisher at the point. Those were fun Kobe watches, and he could just control a game, man. He was a true artist with the basketball in the most actual sense of the word. You could tell every spot he was trying to get to, and I highly recommend, I know I already have, you going and watching Detail on ESPN+. Even if you just get it to watch all the Kobe ones for a day. They're all like 15, 20 minutes long. They're so good. And he talks about basketball, and he teaches you so much, and it's so cool that they did that. One of my favorite shows.
Well, you said it, man. Artist is the word. When that dude had the ball in his hand, the pivot foot, the head fakes, the way he was able to elevate and just shoot the most pure jumper. It's that he could get to any spot, get any shot he wanted. And and he played both sides of the floor, remember, too. He was a hell of a defender.
Menace, yeah.
So, I completely agree. There's no reason Kobe could not be in the GOAT, conversation. None whatsoever.
People forget about him. Yeah, and he still has more rings than LeBron.
Still does. And that's the other, I'm glad you said that. So here's the other thing about LeBron's legacy is that last championship was the COVID championship. And I'm telling you, there has to be an asterisk there because they played every single game on the same floor. Every team, for 2 months, they stayed in the same hotel. There was no fans, no noise, nothing. You know what that is, Dean?
Everybody was playing under the same conditions.
That's a glorified AAU tournament. That's what that is.
And it was. But somebody had to win.
Well, somebody,
Can't
that's
take
fine.
It away from him. I wouldn't call it an asterisk, but
I
mentioned bubble. Maybe a parentheses.
When you take out the travel aspect and you
take
take
that
out the crowd noise and the momentum changes.
Take the championship away from LeBron. You can count it as half.
Maybe let's do that then, because man, when I think about how that went down, I just roll my eyes. I do. That's...
You can't take it from him. You can just count it as less.
Then I will then, because that, like I said,
but if somebody else won it, have to count it as less for them too. And the thing is,
that's
fine.
Thing
with that is you probably wouldn't count it as less if it didn't mean anything. You'd probably, if the Toronto Raptors won or the Oklahoma City Thunder won, you'd probably be like, yeah, they won their first championship. You wouldn't think about it because it doesn't mean anything to any player. You'd just be like, you'd acknowledge that they won it, and you probably wouldn't. But
probably not though.
Yeah, but you would. But the problem is, it means something to the debate and to LeBron's legacy. So then we hone in on it and are like, well, it doesn't count as much. Whereas if someone else won it, it would probably count still because they played under the same conditions. But I also see what you're saying. Why there would be a small asterisk.
Right.
I get it. But it's just hard to just take it from them when there were other teams playing. They did win. If you won, you would want it. You'd be like, yeah, we played. I just try to put my...
I'd probably be like, no, screw that.
And we won. Yeah, I'm just trying to play the devil's advocate for the argument. But truly, I get what you're saying now.
There's a big problem in sports right now that I think we need to solve, though.
What's that?
How do we get these WNBA players paid, man? How do we get people watching their games? What do we do about this?
Well, we thought it was going to be CeCe and Angel Reese, but, That rivalry's not much.
You know, that really fell apart when Angel Reese just missed 8 layups in a row constantly.
Yeah.
You know,
He's eating too much McDonald's.
I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
I have a suggestion on how we can fix the WNBA.
What's that?
Can we just put the rim at 8 feet?
8 feet, huh?
Yeah. What do you think?
8'5", 8'3". You know, it's still got to be a feet.
8'5". Maybe 8'5". Maybe.
It's still got to be a feet.
And here's why.
You can't have like. I don't know. Who's a small? I don't even know who a small WNBA player is. Like a short.
They're all short.
I don't know what short for the WNBA is.
They're all like 5'7", 5'8".
You can't have 5'5" Paige Buchers dunking on an 8-foot hoop.
Well, no, but I'm saying some of them would dunk at 8 to 8.5 feet. And the reverse layups would be cool. Like, people want to see action around the rim. You know what I mean?
Oh, I agree with you. It's just, can we get the movement? Do you think that's something they would want? We need to start this now.
I mean, I'm sure they would call it demeaning and misogynistic, but at the same time, how can you demand pay us what you owe us? You know, stuff like that. It's like, no, you don't. We've created a generation of people in this country that are so entitled and so narcissistic that, like, they just think they deserve stuff they don't earn. It's like, no, you don't understand. Your league doesn't make money. You lose money.
This is a move I can give you.
So how I mean, yeah, the Fed prints money whenever they want. We know that.
Let's start a movement.
But if we just start printing money for WNBA players, why can't
lower the hoop, raise the wage?
Yes, lower the hoop, and then the wages will rise.
Raise the wage. Lower the rim, raise the wage.
I think that is a completely valid suggestion. I mean, and if I hope I get a call to be the commissioner of the WNBA soon.
You know, if we got Caitlin Clark one hand windmill slamming on Angel Reese, you know what? At 8 foot, it might get gritty. Like,
yeah, just I'm telling you.
Caitlin
like,
walking over, just standing over top AR, like looking down at her, like.
I mean, 90% of sports fans are men anyway. So, and men want to see action. We want to see dunks, alley-oops. Like, that's what we want to see.
Bring back hand checks for the WNBA. Keep it out of the NBA, but start hand checking. Let them get more physical.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing some hand checking in the
real
NBA
NBA. Of course, yeah, we need to.
The NBA has a lot of problems.
Yeah, too many for us to fix here today.
Yeah, we can't fix the NBA.
We can fix the WNBA. Lower the rim. Raise the wage.
Man, this has been fun, man. This has been fun. Anything else? Any wild cards you want to talk about?
Oh, man, let's just talk about, I think we've established Kobe's the GOAT. Lower the rim, raise the wage.
That's it.
What else?
Hashtag that.
Fun. So who's your what's some of your favorite movies? What's some of your favorite things in pop culture right now? I've been kind of staying out of it, but I do know who my favorite actor is.
I mean, I got rid of social media back in 2020.
That's probably a good move.
It actually was one of the best things I've ever done in my life. The music I've been listening to lately, obviously my wife is Jamaican. I'm entrenched in Jamaican culture, man. Love it. Love the people. Love Bob Marley.
Give a shout out to one of your artists for people to listen to, maybe.
Man, so I mean, obviously there's Bob Marley. He's the patriarch of reggae. But I listen to Chronix. I listen to Romain Virgo, Protege. Bob Marley's sons, actually, they've made a lot of songs over the years.
Yeah, that was the one I like. Damian Marley, is that right? Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
I like that song.
Yeah, and I think for anybody who hasn't seen the movie One Love, I highly recommend you go watch that because, when a lot of people think about Bob Marley, they think it's all about weed, just weed smoker. But actually, I mean, he was revolutionary. He was calling out the military-industrial complex before anybody was.
It sounds like stuff we're doing.
And a lot of his songs were about government corruption. And you'll see in the movie, actually, Hollywood, they come in on him and they're like, Bob, you're getting real popular. let's make the music more about partying, drinking.
I
And
believe that they try to get their hands in everything.
Yeah.
It's sickening, man.
and Bob
It's
Marley,
sickening.
and he
I've
said,
been telling you guys this since we were like juniors in high school, and back then I was old crazy Dean. I remember the first time I had someone listen to a podcast. It was not to hijack your Bob Marley story. Just
No, it's all right.
started to think about just those guys. I let them listen to Dr. Stephen Greer and Joe Rogan about aliens, and we were coming back from Columbus, and I think it was Colby and Nate and the same guys who would always go on the trips and where we go places, and they're like, Dean, you're effing crazy. Like, what are you listening to? What are you having us listen to? I'm like, it was like conspiracy podcasts, and like I said, it was Joe Rogan and aliens, and it's like, now everybody's saying that stuff that's true. It's like, I feel like sometimes it's like, yeah, I've been trying to tell you guys for 10 years. Like, where have you guys been? Like, this is what I've been saying. There's something with conspiracy theories that sometimes, when the truth seems so much like a conspiracy theory, probably is. Like,
well,
the truth is a conspiracy
that's why
theory.
the government came up with the term conspiracy theorist, because they wanted to discredit people from actually thinking and finding out the truth. So
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, conspiracies are most of the time probably what you think.
Yeah.
You know,
The truth is a conspiracy. No, I mean, truly.
It's deep.
Well, no, really, the government's truth and the things that they tell us, that's the conspiracy.
Right.
Conspiracy.
Right.
The truth is what we're destined and our goal to find here. You're going to have to dig deep. They're not going to just tell us everything.
No, and
Yeah.
actually, I truly believe the whole objective of mainstream media, and I don't care what side you lean, left or right, I think mainstream media's whole purpose is to lie to people.
And to distract us.
Distract and lie, and that way we're all arguing amongst each other. And meanwhile,
Divide.
it's like the Great Magician, like
Look over here while this is happening over there.
exactly. Look up at my right hand while we do this down here with our left hand. That's
And
what
it's
our world
important that
is.
our
man.
people, that people around the world, or whoever gets to see this, starts to recognize things like that, because we need to get smarter as society. Everyone, what you just going about your day, feeding into everything that they're telling you on your main is not the way to go about things. Think for yourself. Explore
Yeah.
multiple avenues of news. Listen to multiple sources, and then come to your own conclusion.
It's only going to get worse, though. You know that, right? Because with AI,
I'm hoping with AI, the kids get smarter, and they can somehow, the AI lets us see through the bullshit. It just depends how the AI is programmed.
well, the problem with AI is they're going to start implementing it in schools, and now all of a sudden we're going to have generations of kids who can't critically think for themselves.
They're
So
just
I
all
mean,
saying-
I
you're
mean,
talking
it's
about practice?
we're cooked. we're cooked. Like it's
we're cooked.
kids are only going to get dumber from here on out.
They're all going to be saying, because of that AI. You talking about practice?
What kind of cards you got here,
All right,
man?
all right, man. Let's play the game. So this is the little game I bought where we get to go a little bit deeper. If you want to go, you can pull the first one. Since I think I am supposed to start, since I brought up the game.
All right.
And so I'll pull one. So what do you admire about me?
I admire about you your courage, man. I think you have a lot of courage. I think you have, the world is your oyster right now. I love that you're doing this. I'd venture to say most of the people you have on here have never been on a podcast before. So keep at it, man. Dude, chase this.
I appreciate having you on so much. I mean, I know you asked me why Colby and Dylan haven't got on yet, and they said they were waiting on you. So hopefully I can have them on soon.
All right. Well, hopefully I set the bar pretty high.
I think you did. I think we both did a really good job here.
Oh, Cole, Dylan, you hear that, boys?
Yeah, here with the. And if
All
not,
right.
I'll get Justin or someone. Someone will do it. Yeah. There's.
Whoever.
There's plenty to pull from. Somebody will have the courage.
You gotta find the most interesting people,
Yeah, and we speaking of thinking about Colby, we talked a lot of high school basketball today, and shout out to his uncle passed, Alan Horniak.
Oh, really?
Ohio Valley basketball great.
Legend, man. Yeah, legend. Rest in peace.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, I actually listened to a little radio cast yesterday Colby sent me about just talking about all his great moments, and from the sounds of it, it sounds like he could have been maybe the greatest if there was a 3-point line from the things that people were saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know as much. Dropping 86 with no 3-point line is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, when you make 43 shots.
Yeah.
That's,
in a high school game.
I think we could define that as unstoppable.
Yeah. So I didn't say what I admire about you yet, though.
Oh, that's how the game goes.
Yeah,
All right.
and then you'll pull that card. But you already know. I told you this enough this week when we were playing basketball and shooting around. You got ice in your veins, man. You've been the calmest and the coolest.
Ice
and
in my veins.
And the most pressure shooter at the foul line. I'm pretty sure you led the whole High Valley our senior year. So that's always your ability to stay calm and act like just another shot was always impressive to me.
Always, man. Just in the driveway all the time. But that was your job to keep stats. I never followed that stuff. All right. What is the last compliment you gave someone? Man. I'm going to sound like a horrible person. I can't think of it. You know what? I did tell my wife that she's beautiful this morning.
Well, that's a great one.
And that usually gives me a little leeway throughout the day.
That's always a good way to
some
start
trouble.
the day. I actually told this girl that I'm talking to, just through the phone, that she was gorgeous. So that was actually mine, and that always does keep you in the good graces. It's always a good thing. Yeah, man. Telling one
I guess
was important.
I think flirting is kind of cheap compliments, but that's all we have right now. So
Yeah.
we're just gonna go with that.
Yeah, agreed. All right, level 2. What's an insecurity of yours that you recently developed? Pausing too much on camera when I'm recording a podcast. That's new because I just started recording podcasts when I don't know what to say and I have to think of it. But I think that's pretty normal.
Absolutely, it's normal. It's not easy to fill time, man. It takes a lot of repetition. I mean, you're only going to get better at this the more you do it.
And that's the goal, is kind of to give people an inside look into what we're doing here and kind of grow with us as we grow, So,
Absolutely. So I got to answer that too?
Yeah.
What is it? Let me see it. An insecurity that you recently developed. Over the last couple years, my hairline's not great, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm wearing a hat right now. I think that's all of us.
I'm going
all
bald.
Of us men.
I think by the time I'm 40, I'll probably be just shave it all
you'll
off.
be a man then. Oh man, I'm 40.
Yeah.
You ever seen that NFL interview?
Something like that.
The coach.
Yeah. Except that coach has fantastic hair. The mullet, man. Yeah.
I forget which one it was.
It's, my hair's going the wrong direction, so that's not something I'm thrilled about.
There's no growing up from here. I think we're gonna have a good hair guest coming up though soon with some member of the old Shadyside basketball team.
That's awesome.
We got a good hair member, maybe the best, coming up.
10 hair.
Ellis Brown.
100 hair.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll be coming up soon. All right. What is a quote you live by? Well, one of my favorite quotes is, sometimes you're flush, sometimes you're bust. When you're up, it's never as good as it seems. And when you're down, you never think you'll be up again. But life goes on.
Blow.
Yep. Johnny Depp and Blow. Powerful quote.
Great movie, man.
One of my faves all time.
Yeah. The reason that movie's so great and based on a true story.
Yeah.
That's how cool was his dad in that movie? Oh, the best dad.
Yeah.
Just the coolest.
Yeah, I mean, he was the exact dad he should have been. I remember even the scenes where he's calling from and they're trying to keep him out. It's just, the whole movie's great if you haven't seen it.
Oh, dude, when he, when Johnny's about, or not Johnny, George. When George is about to go away, and he tells his dad Dad, I'm good at this, and his dad goes, George, you would have been good at anything.
Yeah, powerful.
Oh, powerful.
Powerful.
Oh man. All right, what is a quote you live by? There's a couple. I think I mentioned them already. There's no such thing. Well, it's not a quote. I guess it's my quote. No such thing as a coincidence. Don't believe in it.
It's your quote now.
And life never works out the way you plan.
No.
That's just.
If you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans.
That's it, man. That's it. And
That's the truth.
I have a habit of doing it too, like me and my wife will fantasize about where we're going to move, where we're going to retire, yada, yada. But the fact is, it never works out the way you planned. So take every day as it comes, and that's all you can do, man.
No, one day at a time, just try to keep everything on track, one day at a time. You have to build good days on top of each other. That's how you get a good life, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Getting deep. What's something you know deep down but don't want to admit? It's a tough one.
If you don't want to admit it. This is a tough one.
Yeah.
Just go with something you know deep down.
Well, now I have to be candid. What's something I know deep down but I don't want to admit? Oh, shucks. This is tough. Oh. I can relate it to sports. That the Steelers aren't going to win the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, and LeBron's probably not winning another championship in LA.
I'm glad you brought up sports stuff, because I just thought of one. Okay, so same thing. All the Steeler fans will understand this one. Jesse James caught that football in 2017. I mean, I know that deep down. The NFL came out and said it. That is, to this day, as far as sports goes, that's probably the biggest gut punch I've ever experienced in my life. We're at Tequila, me, Colby, I think maybe Dylan was there. We were all at Tequila Cowboy next to the stadium watching that game. And I mean, you talk about the highest high to the lowest low. I mean, just the air just got sucked out of the room. Something else, I'll take a spiritual avenue to this as well. I believe that we live in a spiritual realm, man. There's angels and demons that we can't see, and it might sound weird to some people, but I truly believe that if you're not, reading scripture every day, walking with the Holy Spirit, there's no in between. The devil knows how to reach every single one of us, and like I said, if you're not walking with the Holy Spirit, man, the devil will get you. Because I've strayed many times. I've strayed many times.
And it's easy to stray, man.
Yeah.
That's no fault of your own, man. This life likes to pull us in all types of different directions.
You're absolutely right.
It's usually never on the straight and narrow. You got to walk that path your own self. All right, let's see what we got last. When people look at you, what do you think they see? What do you wish they could see? Another tough one. These getting deep questions.
Yeah, that's extremely deep.
Well, when people look at me, I think they might see someone who's absolutely out of their mind trying to take on this podcast. And, I told you some of my plans with the camper and whatnot, and I know I've expressed that to other friends. I think that they might see someone that they think is a little crazy, but I wish that they could see that even though I know it's a little crazy, I'm also very faithful and very excited and encouraged about everything that's to come, and I have a good mindset about it, and I think things are working out. I'm not treading water or really too worried, because I know if I keep doing the right thing and stay on the right path, good things will happen to me.
I completely agree, man. And that's, like I said, that's deep. Oh, what do I think people see in me? After high school, a lot of us went to college together, but then ultimately, life happens, and people get disconnected, lose touch. I hope that all of our friends and they don't think that I'm too busy or like just completely introverted or just don't care, because that's not the case. I want to stay in touch with people. I wish they could see me as a true friend they could always call and talk to, and things of that nature. So that's what I hope people see, because I'm always open.
Very good, man. I like that. I mean, I think us being open is like the biggest thing, and that's kind of what this whole podcast has been sort of geared towards, is giving people a space to express themselves and me talk with them, and them get my perspective and me get theirs, because I think our perspectives are very important things that don't often get shared enough, especially with everybody. It takes a little bit of courage to come on here, as we've discussed, and just sort of be open and let everybody see you, and I really appreciate you doing so, man. Let's get to the last couple cards. What we got? Say something in a different language. The players have to figure out what you said. Do you know anything in a different language?
Yeah, I worked in Miami for 6 months, so I did learn. Obviously, in South Florida, you have to know a little Spanish. So I'll say, cállate y quédate en la cama.
Cállate. Or I don't even know. I don't know enough Spanish.
So what I just said was, be quiet and stay in your bed.
Is that a nursing thing?
Yeah. It proved beneficial to know that little phrase. But
Cállate.
Y quédate en la cama. Stay in your bed.
Local.
I don't want any trouble.
Yeah, I don't want any trouble. So, I think we already covered this, but something I remembered from high school and I know how to say is, Señora Ortiz es muy bonita. and that is, Mrs. Ortiz is very beautiful. I made
very
sure
beautiful. That's how you pass the class, from
and
what I
made sure
understand.
to say that every Spanish was my second best class next to English. I was good at these languages. Then it was history. But, I also was able to butter Miss Ortiz up.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I do with my wife, man. You got to learn these things at a young age.
Yeah.
It goes far. It goes real far. My wild card is hug. That means we got a hug.
Well, let's just dab it up. We'll give the hug off air.
Let's go to the beach, man. This was awesome, but let's go to the beach.
Hey, thank you everybody for tuning in. This was Nick Schuetz. We will see y'all Wednesday.